The Texas Parks and Wildlife television series is funded in part by a grant from the Wildlife and Sportfish Restoration Program. Through your purchases of hunting and fishing equipment and motorboat fuels, over $40 million in conservation efforts are funded in Texas each year. And by Texas Parks and Wildlife Foundation, helping to keep Texas wild with the support of proud members across the state. Find out more at tpwf.org. Additional funding provided by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram. Coming up on Texas Parks and Wildlife.
And so on the cave tours here, what we do is we give an opportunity for people to get just a little taste of what it's like to be a cave explorer.
Followed a group called Hill Country Outdoors on some events, including a trip to Big Bend. Met some nice folks and kept in touch with some, one of whom I later married.
If you're not changing, if you're sitting still, you're moving backwards. And I hope that I'm a part of positive change within the department and the law enforcement division in particular.
Texas Parks and Wildlife, taking Texans outside for 30 years.
There you go, buddy.
I don't have any elbow pads, so.
Is it okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
If you try to find the center of Texas, you're going to be very close to Colorado Bend State Park. We're in the northern end of the hill country. At Colorado Bend, we have typical activities that you would find, such as camping,
Perfect weather.
and fishing, and hiking and biking. But one of the unique things at Colorado Bend is caving.
Oh, wow, that's cool. Whoa, Drew, look at that.
Usually, when you're in your campsite, you're on a trail, you don't typically think about what is 20, 30, 40 feet beneath you. But what is beneath you is another world, and it's a world that is ready to explore. And so on the cave tours here, what we do is we give an opportunity for people to get just a little taste of what it's like to be a cave explorer.
This part's a little slippery.
Yeah.
If you want to just
Sit down.
sit down and use those 3 points of contact. It's clear.
So we do get a lot of questions and concerns from potential cave tour participants about how challenging is it. You can turn around and kind of climb down like you would on a ladder. Is it too tight? Is it going to be too dark? Is it too scary? When you start a cave tour, it's not something you normally do. There's going to be just some discomfort, maybe a little anxiousness.
Yeah, right there, people, tend to sit down and just kind of scoot down.
That's normal.
Oh my God, weird.
Yeah.
And that's part of this whole process, is working through that. It's a challenge, right? You'll be on your hands and knees. You're going to get dirty, perhaps muddy. You're going to get a little tired. You're going to have some sore muscles tomorrow. But what you're learning along the way is not only about the history and the geology of the place that we're going into, but also you get an opportunity to stretch yourself, to do something you haven't done before.
Small.
And a lot of people hit that challenge and they come out the other side feeling a sense of accomplishment.
This is small.
She's alive.
Good job. That's good. Very good. Good job.
That's pretty awesome, I swear. Thank you. It's pretty awesome.
Nice job.
In addition to the cave tours that we offer here at Colorado Bend, We have a partnership with a cave exploration group, the Texas Geological Association. The TSA group comes out about once a month, and what they're providing for us is updates on our caves. They will give us maps of the interior of caves, GPS points of new caves that they found. This is the spreadsheet that contains all of the caves that have been documented in the park. So far we have over 500 entries.
I keep looking at this thing. Over the years, this is washing open more and more. Yeah. This is how we find caves, see? You find interesting things like this. The TSA has an agreement with Texas Parks and Wildlife where we provide volunteer labor for the park. I love digging. We're finding caves, we're mapping caves, we're collecting information on the caves and karsts that helps the park better manage the resources they have. So we're doing inventory work, basically. There is an entrance to the cave underneath us. Under this ledge, you crawl in. There's an entrance right back here. This is a little collapse area, and this is the kinds of things we look for. If we were to pull the rocks out, it would probably go right into that same fissure. We feel like we're the stewards of the caves. We're at the last gasp entrance to Los Petzl Cave System. It's a fissure. We've got to climb down and out at the same time. Got to be careful here because the floor starts to disappear. One of the things that appeals to me as a scientist, I like the adventure. I like crawling and climbing and, squeezing through little things. That's great fun. Caving's kind of interesting because it's a team activity. You never go caving alone. You go in with multiple people. You're almost there. And everybody looks out for each other and helps each other out. But it's also a highly individual activity because we can't tell you where to put your feet or what to grab when you're climbing. Now we're going to see how flexible you really are. We can offer suggestions, but people have to figure it out for themselves. Ooh, we've given you a challenge here. What do you think, Bryce? Any final words?
Almost there. Okay, give me the distance from RH15 to RH16.
We're going to map part of the cave today.
Station RH15, light on station.
Okay.
Distance 3.45 meters.
Okay. When you're ready, give me that azimuth.
Azimuth 82 degrees.
Okay. 82.0.
Great, thanks. Sometimes, the cave goes and goes and goes, and then all of a sudden, it's like, okay, it's only this high. But you can look, and it continues. You can see. It's like, yeah, that looks like it might get wider down there. If it looks like it's humanly passable, we push through it. This is not the place you'd want to be like during a hurricane.
Yeah.
This is nature's storm sewer right here. A lot of the surface of the earth has been mapped, but under the earth, there's places where people have never seen. And when we're the first ones to see that, even if it's some grungy little nasty crawlway, that's still a real exciting feeling.
All right, guys, at Colorado Bend, we have over 400 caves in the single park. Basically, anywhere you look throughout the park, there's probably a cave somewhere beneath you. Once you go on a cave tour like this, you start to see a new world. You never look at the world the same because you realize the world doesn't end at the grass or the pavement right below me. There's actually a beautiful, amazing world beneath that.
How'd y'all sleep last night? Something good. We'll do a stress shoot like we did, a few months ago in our training. Just methodical, do your reloads and all that. Think about what you're doing. We're moving forward and don't get any closer than the stick. Put 3 rounds in them, in the middle. Everybody good? I wanted to be a game warden since I was young. It's been truly a gratifying and rewarding experience. 18 rifle, 26 pistol.
Chris's goals are to ensure that in 20 years, and 30 years, and 40 years from now, that game wardens in Texas are a vital aspect of Texas law enforcement. Chris supervises the Special Operations Unit that consists of Tactical Operations and the Criminal Investigation Division.
Law enforcement in general has changed. Everybody's going specialized, trying to be the best at what they do.
We picked them up down there at the far end of the lake.
To make it. We try to increase the capabilities of game wardens and the specialization with training and equipment to where we can perform tasks that we haven't always been able to. I'm based out of Austin, and I'm generally there maybe a few days a week. Otherwise, there's something going on somewhere in the state all the time. As much as I can, I like to travel, be with the guys when they're working and see what they need and just show them the support.
We talk on the phone probably 10 times a day on average. I talk to Chris probably more than I do my wife and kids combined.
One more on the right, one more on the right. Firearm training is very important. It's something that you hope you never have to use, but if you do, you want to be proficient at it.
The scout team is our tactical unit doing border ops. We do high-risk warrants and any of the needs that the field game warden may need a tactical unit for.
We try to leverage what game wardens do best, and that's working in rural environments. And part of that is land navigation, tracking. So we work with our GPSs and even compasses and maps to navigate through rural environments. It's my job and responsibility to ensure with K9, as with the other teams, that we move forward and help them logistically with their needs so that they can go out and perform their functions and do what they do best. It doesn't. Leadership, to me, it means supporting and doing what you can for the people that you work with so that you can put them in the best position to be successful. If you're not changing, if you're sitting still, you're moving backwards. And I hope that I'm a part of positive change within the department and the law enforcement division in particular.
It was 30 years ago that the Texas Parks and Wildlife television series, originally known as Made in Texas, got its start. Alan Fisher is one of more than 30 producers, photographers, writers, and editors who have contributed to the show since its first broadcast in 1985.
I'm Alan Fisher. I'm a producer with the Texas Parks and Wildlife TV series and have been since 2001. I've met a lot of really great people over the years and been to some really interesting places, so it's hard to pick a favorite story. One of my favorites is a story I did on outdoor social clubs. Followed a group called Hill Country Outdoors on some events, including a trip to Big Bend National Park.
Thanks, you guys. Okay. Have fun.
Met some nice folks and kept in touch with some, one of whom I later married.
Okay.
Certainly a memorable story for me, and I hope that you will enjoy outdoor clubbing.
Find a good spot back here. Oh, load the truck. Lots of fun.
Bill Talbot and his friend John Dukes are going camping.
Going out to Big Bend National Park.
And they're packing a lot of stuff.
This is the dirty work. This is how the sausage is made, behind the scenes peek.
Be safe.
We'll try. Let's do this. And we're off. It's off to Big Bend we go. This will be our 9th annual trip out there. We keep going back because it's just an amazing place. Tons to explore. Just taking in the awesomeness that is the Big Bend part of Texas.
Now, Bill didn't load that trailer just for himself and a couple of friends. Their friends and more. Almost 50 folks in all are camping with Bill's club, Hill Country Outdoors.
It's a pretty active group. Every year it's always probably a third to a half of the group are newbies who've never been out here before, so it's pretty awesome to see their eyes just open wide when they get out here and check out this incredible spot we're in.
Tent camping in the mountains can take some getting used to.
The ground's kind of hard, and it was a little cold.
But that's what the coffee is for.
Much better.
Something warm.
Yeah. The hash browns. Yeah, do another batch of eggs if you got those going.
After fueling up, the campers have plenty of options.
Tons of hikes, lots of hikes. What are y'all doing today?
All right,
here we go.
we're doing the Lost Mines Trail.
Don't fall.
Can I see my truck from here?
My main reason for being part of this group is to do the things that I like to do with other people that like to do that stuff. All the laughter up and down this hill today is because of the people.
One small step for mankind. No, something like that.
If I'd been doing this by myself, I wouldn't have had near as much fun.
There's a photo op every 10 feet, so there's lots of breaks.
Casa Grande. Wow.
It's pretty.
There we go.
That's gorgeous.
Ken Harris is a Big Bend veteran, having made all 9 trips with Hill Country Outdoors.
We're in the home stretch.
As for Margaret Dean,
I'm not an experienced hiker, obviously.
this is all a little new.
I'm going camping and hiking for the first time.
That makes reaching the summit all the more rewarding.
High 5, maybe a high 10. It's fabulous. Just fabulous. Top of the world.
This is a doozy to pick as your first camp out, but the views are spectacular and the payout's worth it.
For those less interested in scaling mountain peaks, Hill Country Outdoors offers plenty of camping and hiking closer to home, like in the Hill Country.
We see a few turkeys.
We are out here in part to see the turkeys.
About 5 of them out there.
But some people came along who wanted to do some canoeing and kayaking, so it's pretty laid back.
Some of them came out to hike. I came out here to paddle on the South Atlantic. The canoeing and some of the stuff is a little bit beyond the comfort zone for a lot of the members. So it's always nice to have somebody with you who knows what they're doing.
Just beautiful, beautiful river. Prior to joining the club a few months ago, I didn't have any paddling experience. This is a club that's full of those type of activities. I don't get bored with it because there's just such a diversity to choose from.
The club's calendar lists multiple events each day of the week. With affiliated clubs in other cities, members have recreation options around the state and beyond.
The internet's making all of this possible, really. It helps share the information of what you need to do, meet here, show up with this, plan on this amount of time. Without the internet, none of this would happen.
Free services like meetup.com are making it easier for folks with specific interests to join group activities. Outdoor clubs like Hill Country charge fees, but tend to offer more organized events.
Someone else does all the organizing, someone like me.
We'll take care of all the logistics and all the pain in the rear stuff, and you just kind of show up and have fun.
Underwater, when we're scuba diving, we want to be what's called neutrally buoyant.
It makes it easier to just, touch your toe in a little bit.
We want to be swimming along in the water column.
Today I learned to scuba dive. I was a little worried about going underwater and breathing because that just seems completely not right to me. I've been kind of crossing off my list things I'm scared to do or things that I want to do but I'm a little about. So this was one of those things. I was like, okay, I did that. I feel good. I feel good about myself.
Yeah. Nicely done.
That's kind of the whole spirit behind this club is try things you want to do but are a little bit nervous doing on your own. So it's nice to have a built-in support group to try these kind of events with.
All right.
We did the zip line and that was great.
I don't recommend anybody do this. I'm kidding.
I'm with Bayou City Outdoors in Houston, and then there's Hill Country Outdoors group that's here. They all play well with others.
It was so fun. Awesome.
Like a pro.
You're good, brother.
Seeing everyone having fun and smiling doesn't get much better.
It's fun.
Of course, outdoor clubs aren't all high adventure.
A lot of it's also just hanging out and talking and cooking dinner or trying to cook dinner, sitting around a campfire.
That was about 6 months ago when I was younger.
There's a whole side that's sometimes jokingly called Hill Country Indoors. We meet for dinners, we go out for drinks.
In general, most people leave, Thursday.
In fact, much of the preparation for that Big Bend trip was disguised as a social hour at a local pub.
Something always goes wrong every year, but I won't tell you what, because that's half the fun.
But except for some aching ankles and toes,
Put a couple bandages on it so it won't hurt so much.
this trip is coming off without a hitch. As the weekend draws to a close, hikers and bikers head for the trails of Big Bend Ranch State Park for more exploring.
Oh, good rusty gate. Still have a day job, but it is a business.
Vámonos!
It's a for-profit. I jokingly say, if you ask my accountant, it looks like a non-profit more times than not, but I've always been the party organizer, and so it's just kind of comes naturally to me. And plus, I just love the outdoors. This trip is $140, I guess is what it costs. That's 12 meals included and planned activities every day, so.
That looks pretty.
Hard to do a trip for 4 or 5 days on that price, so we think it's a pretty good deal.
You guys okay? I already know Bill doesn't make a lot of money out of it. A lot of the reason he does it is because he enjoys it as well. I'm 66. When I'm out here, I feel their age.
You got young and old, you've got people from all backgrounds, all stripes, but there's something inside of them that knows they need to be doing more of this.
And for folks like Ken, this club is more than a way to get outdoors on the weekends.
I had a personal tragedy a few years ago, and my friends from Hill Country Outdoor, they made the difference for me. They saved my life. My best friends today
Ken, our tour guide,
are people that I've met in Hill Country Outdoor. And I continue to participate and make new friends.
It's the last day in Big Bend, and the campers clean up, pack up, and say their farewells.
See you next time.
I'm sad. I'm sad to go home. I will definitely go on another HCO trip, maybe next year, Big Bend again. I'm sure there'll be another one.
Weekend was awesome. It was great. I think everyone had a great time. Everyone ate really well. Got some really good long hikes in.
Yeah, come on everybody, let's go.
It's a little sad.
We do it right here, it's good actually.
There's a lot of bonding.
Squeeze in, come on, we got nothing but love in here.
1, 2, 3.
And then suddenly it comes to an abrupt end.
Here we go, one more.
But it's a lot of fun.
All right, here we go.
So this story ends much as it began.
Another trip in the books.
But the Outdoor Club story is never really over.
Got a trailer behind us? That's a nice thing.
Bye, Mom.
This week's calendar includes 20 new adventures to choose from.
Every time it's something new.
This series is funded in part by a grant from the Wildlife and Sport Fish Restoration Program. Through your purchases of hunting and fishing equipment and motorboat fuels, over $40 million in conservation efforts are funded in Texas each year. And by Texas Parks and Wildlife Foundation, helping to keep Texas wild with the support of proud members across the state. Find out more at tpwf.org. Additional funding provided by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram.